Good morning, everyone. We're here with Dave White with the New York Sea
Usually having a good time.
Yes, as always. And he's here to talk
Very
about winter season activities for boaters. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Bulky jacket.
Bulky
Yes.
jacket.
Tell us why.
I know it, and this is your favorite. This is my float coat.
I
Always
like
wear
it
it
because
this time of
it's
year.
2-in-1.
It is. It's got the life jacket built in, so you can wear it as a coat. It does meet all the requirements. If you're on the water on a boat, you have to have a life jacket on. But for ice fishing, so great. Or if you're out snowmobiling, you know, these kind of things. You get the float coat or the float suit, brighter color. If you do have a problem, you're going to float. Again, we always go to the extend survivability kind of thing. So I had to wear it because, number one, it's cold out and this keeps me nice and warm.
You're going to wear a coat anyway.
I know it.
And then you have to have, if you're going to be on a boat, you have to have, you have to
have
be
it
wearing
on.
it.
You have to be wearing it
That
this time of
is-
year.
yeah.
So yeah, I just think they're great. They really are.
Yeah, and they're not super bulky. I mean, when you were standing, I couldn't even tell that there was a floating device in the jacket
Right.
until you told me about it. Where can you get something like that?
Oh, a lot of good sporting stores. You can go online. They've become really readily available, much more because folks are utilizing them, and it's just a
Right.
great, safe way to be when you're out on the boat.
Great invention.
It is. I like it, and I do. I wear it many times throughout the winter.
What do you have here?
Well, what
This
we have
looks
here is
pretty
because
dangerous.
welcome to the show this
I don't know if
morning.
I wanna
You know,
ask
make sure
you.
I'm pointing away. Yeah, one of the questions we had from one of the prior shows, and this all goes into when we talk about boating season, and even sometimes when we do talk about ice fishing, being out on a boat this time of year. One of the questions came up about flares. We always talk about you have to have flares on board, 3 of them. They're dated. You have to check that. Question came up about flare guns. Because of where we are in relationship to Canada, we always talk about you have to remember if you're going to be going into Canadian waters, you have to comply with Canadian law. Flare guns are not allowed in Canada because it's a flare gun.
Okay.
So flare guns are not allowed to be carried over into Canada. So if you have them on your boat, you don't want to be going into Canadian waters. You know, again, you know, they're going to be, most of the time they're going to be kind to you. You shouldn't have that. You need to go back, you know, whatever it might be. But we always try to remind people they could take it. Also, you know, large dive knives sometimes will get folks in trouble. I mean, for divers, many times they'll have the knives.
Seen as a weapon.
They can be seen as a weapon. So, you know, you often have to think as if you're going into any other foreign country, going into Canada, you know, still a friendly country. We have a great relationship with Canada, but they do have different laws.
Rules.
They do have different rules, and sometimes states will have different rules. So a lot of boaters that go from New York to go south, snowbirds, when they're coming back and forth, you also want to be checking, are there any specific state laws or regional laws if you're going down to Florida or North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, wherever you might be going down south or out west. They also may have different state laws that you want to take a look at as you're going back and forth. It's all a little bit different to take into account.
Also, you've got to check the weather if you're going to be boating in the winter.
Oh, says the weather girl. Wow, was
You've
that a plug?
Tune into 7 News and watch the weather.
Did we catch the plug? Oh, absolutely. And because up here it can change and it can be so different. I mean, you know, I am a 4-season enthusiast to be outdoors, get outside, enjoying it. And I always tell people, you know, webcams are now a great thing because you can go online and say, hey, what's going on? If I'm a snowmobiler, I'm a skier, I can go take a look, see what's happening, what kind of snow do they have on the ground. You know, all of our tourism industry folks are well keyed in now to be doing that and sharing it with you.
We've got to wrap it up, but is there a website people can check more safety rules? Do you have?
You know, one of the best to go to is New York State Parks. Just Google New York State Parks. It has all the specific rules and regulations, but just think about whether you're on a boat on the water or doing any other activity on the water, even if it's ice. There's water underneath. Snowmobilers, skiers, snowmobilers, you know, all be thinking about when you're out over the water, be safe, be seen. A lot of the stuff you'd have on your boat, take with you when you go out.
Thank you very much.
All important
Always
stuff.
great.
Thank you.
Alrighty, have a great day.
We'll be right back.